Hi, this is 365801, and in honor of My Love Mix-Up Volume 4 arriving, I'm going to be talking about all of the ongoing print series I'm collecting. So obviously I'll talk about My Love Mix-Up first of all. This is not technically a BL series, it is by Shoujo Beat. 4 volumes are now released. The 9th volume and final volume has been released in Japan, so I know that I have 5 more volumes to collect, and I'm really enjoying this. This latest volume I read just last night as soon as it came in. I'm so happy. It's just brilliant, and I absolutely love the comedic faces that the characters make. This is an absolute joy to read, and I have only one manga that I am pre-ordering, and it's My Love Mix-Up. While I'm here in the drawer, I thought I would just show you that I do now have Volume 3 and Volume 4 of Heartstopper, but this is not the final volume. There will be a 5th volume for Heartstopper coming out. So in terms of my graphic novels, I am now up to date, which is really great, but I still have more to come. Another graphic novel is Fence. This is by C.S. Kath. I have a Volume 4, which I'm really pleased about, but I haven't read it yet. I might just read it today. Volume 5 I think has come out in the US, but we won't get it in the UK until maybe September or October. So I still have Volume 5 to get when that comes out, and any future volumes, because I really do love this fencing BL graphic novel. One of the mangas that I have not been very proactive about collecting, and this is a Square Enix title, Cherry Magic by Yu Toyota. I only have Volume 3, and there are, I think, 4 volumes out at the moment, maybe a 5th one soon, but there's 10 volumes in Japan, so I still have a long way to go in terms of collecting, and I haven't read this yet because I want to get Volume 1 and 2 first. It's not a priority, but maybe it should be, because I really loved the drama. It was fantastic and super cute. Another series that I am kind of behind on, and that is Loveless. I have up to Volume 11, but I know that there are 13 volumes in Japanese, and I think the 12th one has definitely been released in English, and I haven't picked it up yet, so I do need to pick that one up and make sure that I'm up to date with Loveless. It's not too many volumes, and I have all the rest, so I really need to see if I can get that. One of my absolute favourites, this is definitely in, if not the top 5, one of the top spots, definitely. I Hear the Sunspot by Yuki Fumino. This is One Piece Books, and I am up to date in the English publication, but we now know that there will be a further volume. I think it's called Shunka Shuto, Volume 1 anyway, so there might be even more being published in Japan, so we'll have another volume coming. I am loving this series. I will definitely pre-order when the next volume gets announced. It's just, it's my jam. Now this one, Canis, Dear Mr. Rain by Zach, this is published by Kuma, and this is not one that I expected to be a series, but then ended up sort of getting rescued in Japan by a different publisher, and so this has actually been re-released in a different cover, and I think Kuma might be re-releasing that one as well. But there is more Canis. I think the first volume of Dear Mr. Hatter, I think, has been released. Maybe it's been released in the UK, or it will be soon, and there's another one as well. So there will be 2 further volumes, and then possibly this one re-released, which I'll probably get because it's a beautiful cover too. And I really did enjoy the story. It's very interesting. It's not spicy at all for this first volume, but apparently it gets spicier. So obviously I'm going to want to pick up those volumes. Now when it comes to Tokyopop titles, there are not that many continuing series. Hanger by Hirotaka Kisaragi is one that I have been enjoying since the first volume was released. I absolutely loved it. The 3rd volume was great too. It's brilliant. It's just full of great costumes or uniforms and smexiness and a bit of nonsense and lots of Hirotaka Kisaragi great artwork. I don't think the 4th volume is actually out in Japan. Maybe it's on hiatus, I'm not sure. But we're waiting the next volume. So this is one I'm still considering as a continuing series that I'm collecting. Monster and the Beast is one that I absolutely love. Renji is very prolific on Twitter and so interacts quite a lot with her international fans. Volume 3 was the one that everyone got super excited about because it meant something spicy was happening. And we have been waiting for Volume 4. I think Volume 4 is actually out in Japan and we've just been waiting for it in English. And there are more chapters afterwards. So it is continuing in Japanese, but we're just awaiting a Yen Press to release this 4th volume we have all been waiting for. So this next one, Hichirojime My Hero, I have collected up to volume 11, but minus volume, I think volume 4. I think I need to get at least 1 or 2 more volumes in the middle, and then I'll have an up-to-date amount. I think there's 13 in Japanese, and so we have 11, and I think 12 will be released fairly soon because they're actually quite good about putting them out every few months. So I should be able to collect the couple that I'm missing and then carry on with them as they're being released. So I'm not too worried about getting them. I've been able to pick up quite a lot of these for a very good price. The other Kodansha title that I am collecting is Tendance. I have volume 1, 3, 4 and 5. I need to pick up volume 2 so I can actually read the ones that I've got. And I also need to pick up volume 6 because 6 has been released and I have yet to pick it up. So I'm a little bit behind on that one, but it's really difficult to get them for good prices. They do tend to be more expensive, usually £10 and that's even with a discount. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can pick up volume 2 someday for less than £10 and then I'll be picking up volume 6 as well. I really like this, it's very mature, so I do want to get it and be able to sit down and binge all in one sitting. The next ones to talk about, they are not actually manga, but they are novels, and that is all of MXTX's novels that are being published by Seven Seas. I only have the first volumes of all of them. There are still quite a few to collect. I am going to see if I can pick them up for better prices. I did pay full price for these 3 as soon as they came out and I bought them in the shop, which was a great experience. But it's not something I do often because, as you know, I try and get the best deal possible. So yeah, this isn't really a hugely high priority because I have not read these yet. I don't really like reading the first volume of a book and waiting months for the next one. So I will probably wait until I have all of them and sit down and read them all together once I have a complete novel with all of the different books. And also because I have actually read all of these when they were fan translated, because fan translators do a great job, and that's probably why Seven Seas hired them as well. So yeah, these are ones that are not high on my priority list, but I will get to them eventually. Now, one that should be higher on my priority list, and unfortunately hasn't been, is Classmates by Asmiko Nakamura. I need to get volume 3, and I also need to get the next one, which is Haruto Sora. And I also need to get OB, and then of course the new one, which is Blanc. I was quite surprised at the price of OB, and then realised it was the 2 volumes combined, and so I was like, oh, actually that's a pretty good deal then. So I will look out for a better price. They are around £10 for the later volumes, but I think I could probably get volume 3 for £8 or so. So I have seen it for that and I just never picked it up. So I do need to be able to at least get my full set of Classmates, because this original series is the one that I absolutely love. This is definitely also in a top 5 of favourites, so I really should prioritise it and see if I can pick up the other volumes. I have them all in Japanese. I have them in Japanese, but I need to get them in English. Now I thought I would just mention this one, Go For It Nakamura by Shunde, also Seven Seas, but I don't consider this a series, even though I know for it, Go For It Again Nakamura is now released. I think I can pick up in the shops now in the UK, but it's more like a sequel than it is a series, maybe. If you let me know, let me know. I don't know. Is it an actual ongoing series, or is it just here's the first book and then there's a sequel to it? Because I wouldn't consider this an ongoing series if they've stopped. So is Shunde still producing more Nakamura work? That's something I need to try and see if I can find out. So if you know, let me know in the comments down below. Now, another series that I am slowly making my way through and making sure I get them all is What Did You Eat Yesterday by Fumi Yoshinaga. This is by Vertical, which of course has been taken over by Kodansha. So it's much easier to get some of the previously difficult volumes, especially volume 9. I need to get rid of my duplicates. But I have to get some of the ones that are missing after volume 13. And I think it's all the way up to 18, 19. There is, I think, 19 volumes, maybe 20 in Japanese. So it's going to be ending soon. And I think I'm going to be able to pick up the rest of the whole series by the end of the year, or maybe just into January or February into next year. So I'm looking forward to being able to continue it. It's not one that I would binge. It's definitely one that I would just pick up the volumes. I think I'm on volume 7 or 8 now. But it's a nice, quiet little story, and I'm happy to pick it up as and when. So it's not a huge priority, but I've kind of made it more of a priority in previous years than this year. This series, Candy Color Paradox by Isakunatsume. Obviously, this is a Sublime title. They're quite easy to recognize. This has, I think, 6 volumes in Japan. And we have the 5th one that was fairly recently released that I was able to pick up. So I'm completely up to date with Candy Color Paradox. I have no idea why, but it seems to be one that I'm always able to keep up to date with, which is nice. It's a good feeling. This is Onoe and Kaburagi, who work together as investigative journalists. It's just a cute, sweet, silly manga, and it's Isakunatsume, so obviously it's great and I love it. Now, this series is one that I have not been able to keep up to date with. That's Cast Heaven by Chise Ogawa. I only have 3 volumes here at the moment. I would like to be able to get the rest of them as soon as I can, and I know that some of them are on sale at the moment, so I might end up buying them. There are, I think, 7 volumes, or maybe the 7th volume hasn't quite been released yet, but that's what we're up to in English. I think there might be 8 volumes in Japanese. I don't know if that's the final volume, but yeah, this is one that's still ongoing in English, and I need to up my game in terms of collecting so I can read the rest of this very disturbing story of power and dominance and in a school setting. So can't really recommend it, but also, man, I love this. Coyote is by Ranmaru Zaria. It's got 3 volumes out at the moment. The 4th volume has been released in Japanese, and I think we will be getting the 4th volume fairly soon. So I am behind on this. I need to pick up volume 3 and 4. This is a great werewolf mafia story, because of course it is. Because of course it is. Birds of Shangri-La. This is Ranmaru Zaria. I only have volume 1. This is by Sublime. I need to get the rest of this. I know volume 2 has been released in English and I'm behind on that. I think it's ongoing in Japanese. I don't think it's just a 2-volume series. If you know any different, let me know. But yeah, this is just beautiful because it's Ranmaru Zaria. It's very sexy, sensual, and kind of erotic. It's just her brand, basically, but with a sense of melancholy and foreboding, which I find difficult for my anxiety, but I'm still enjoying it. I'm loving it anyway. One of my absolute faves is Don't Be Cruel by Yonozo Nekota. This is one that I have just been collecting since it was first released. It's one that I will have to pick up the next volume. Volume 10, I think, has been released in the US, but I'm not sure if it's been released in the UK. But it will be released soon if not, and so I do need to pick up volume 10. Volume 11 has also been released in Japanese, so it's still ongoing. I don't know if it'll ever stop, and I'm okay with that. All of her doujinshi as well. I used to absolutely love going to the different comic markets, comiquettes and stuff like that, to pick up the doujinshi and all of the extra stuff that went along with it. I do have a wee collection of Hidoku Shinaide extra goods and stuff that I'll need to show you at some point. I love this. Nemugasa and Maya are just Hashtag goals. Now, I absolutely love Maya and how Maya is drawn, but I absolutely love Asami and how Asami is drawn. I think Asami is the reason why all of these volumes have been able to be continuously released, even though it's the same story told over and over again. This is just porn, no plot, and I'm fine with that. I don't know why, but I'm fine with it. There is volume 11 out, and so I'm a little bit behind on picking that up, and I will have to. I don't know when exactly it was released in the UK, but I know it's now available, so I'm going to have to see if I can get it for a good price. I'm not too bothered about picking it up ASAP. I might wait until I can see if I can get a bargain for it. Because, hey, it's not really for the story, is it? It's not like I'm missing out on what happened. Another cliffhanger? Oh, okay. Another tropical island sex fest? Oh, okay. It's just, this is what they do. Mafia nonsense. But Asami and that body, Ayano Yamane can sure draw a beautiful, beautiful body. Given is another one that I am collecting. I was really pleased to be able to pick up all of these volumes this year and make sure I have them up to date. And I love being up to date. It's really good feeling. Volume 7 has been released in Japan, but Volume 7 is not yet released in English, so I feel good about myself. So this is another one that I'm collecting. Love it. Everyone knows about it. It's probably one of the most popular BL for non-BL readers. And that's maybe because there's not terribly much BL in it, to be fair. It's not really the most BL of BLs. But yeah, this is maybe the opposite of Finder. It's a lot of plot and not much porn. One that makes me feel a little bit sad because I am behind is his favourite. I have up to volume 10, volume 11 and volume 12 have now been released and I need to pick them up. Those are the two that I'm missing, the latest volumes, and then I'll be up to date on this one as well. It's just a basic story of a kid who used to be popular because he was good at sports and stuff, and a chubby boy who went away and got hot, came back and decided he was in love with the now geeky guy, and that's the story. And that's, I don't know how it's 10 volumes. How is it 10 volumes? And now it's 12, so I need to pick up those other 2 volumes and see if there's been more progression with their relationship. It's not one I would recommend to everyone. I don't know why, but I actually quite enjoy it. It's kind of sweet. Another one I now need to get the next volume. It hasn't yet been released. As you can see, I still haven't read my volume 6. I don't know if I've even read volume 5. I may have. This is Punch Up by Shioko Kano. So we have 6 volumes in English. Volume 7 will be released soon. I think there's 7 volumes in Japanese. I don't know if this is being continued even more. These last 2 volumes were surprises. They were like the surprise baby that you didn't expect. Whoops! A sort of whoops volume, and 2 came along. So yeah, it's not. This is also one that I don't think I would recommend to everyone. Shioko Kano has maybe not always been the best at certain things and representing certain things. So I would like to do a reread of this one, but maybe I'll wait until volume 7, which is what I said when volume 6 came out. So we'll see if that gets done. Now this is the big one. This is the big mama. The world's greatest first love, the case of Ritsu Onodera. This is volume 15, and I don't think I've put this in my spreadsheet, so I'm going to have to make sure that this is in. A fairly new release, so I'm quite happy to have it. This is just getting churned out. I mean, Shingeki Nakamura, she just does her thing, she just churns it out. And for Asuka, which is the publisher in Japan, they're just like happy to just cha-ching, 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 making the money. They're basically printing money. And when I was in Japan, this was probably the biggest selling one, and it's still huge. And it's one that I will continue to collect. And I'm pretty good at keeping up to date, so I'm very happy to have this latest volume. I don't even know when I bought it. Isn't that shocking? When did I get this? When did it come out? Oh no, I'm gonna have to check. Oh dear. But yeah, volume 16 is not out yet in English, and I will just keep on getting this. This seems to be one a year, so I will expect another one soon, if not next year. Now, another one of my absolute faves is Therapy Game This is Therapy Game Restart, Volume 1. Volume 2, I don't quite think it's been released in the UK yet. I know it's released in the US, so you guys are all enjoying it. And I think it's going to be released pretty soon for us in the UK. So I will have to pick up the next volume. I absolutely love this. It's great. It does say that it's ongoing though, so I don't think it's just volumes 1 and 2. There might be more. I won't know until I get volume 2 though. I won't know. And I'm looking forward to it because the artwork is just, gorgeous. The story is great. So I don't know how much more we're going to get of these two, but I'm okay with it being a long-running series. The World's Greatest First Love length, that's fine. Sure, I will buy them all. So yeah, I'm waiting for this next volume and I'm up to date, which also, of course, feels good. Now, one, I'm not entirely sure how many volumes there is in Japanese. The second volume has been released in Japan. I need to pick up volume 1, annoyingly, because I want to be able to read it, and I haven't read it yet. It's still in its plastic. But I don't think a third volume, collated volume, has been released in Japan, and there are some chapters that have been released. So it's ongoing in Japan, but we have up to date the same number in English. So we'll wait for Japan to get volume 3 and then we can have it too. Now, Scarlet Berico is sometimes fabulous. I love Jackass. I cannot wait for the sequel to Jackass. But her sort of more dark and disturbing series, I'm not such a fan of. I have not yet read it though, so I can't really say one way or the other, but it's just one that I'm not really sure I'm going to enjoy. I only have volumes 1 and 3. I need to pick up volume 2 and now volume 4, which has been released. There is a 5th volume, but that has not been released yet in English, so I'm not up to date, but neither is it completed, so I'm okay there. I've got a bit of time to come up to date, get my volume 2 and 4 as and when I can. Now, this last one of the Sublimes is Ayano Yamane's Crimson Spell. I didn't realise it was still ongoing, but I think it has now been completed at 7 volumes. So I picked up volume 6 a while ago. I haven't read it yet. I want to do a big reread of the whole series. But volume 7 will, I'm assuming, be released by Sublime at some point. I don't think it's ongoing. I think it is completed at only 7. So I will just have the one more volume and then this will be a complete series. And then I'll definitely have to sit down and read it. Now onto these ones, which are the June or Juni manga ones. I'm assuming this is still ongoing because they are producing it. This is The Tyrant Falls in Love. I have a volume 1 here, a volume 10 and a volume 11. I think there's 13 volumes in Japan. So I'm assuming that at some point they will release volume 12 and volume 13. But it's June manga, so I don't know. Please tell me, have they released a volume 12 and I just haven't noticed? I'm going to have to go and check that out. But I'm assuming they haven't because I would have seen it, I think. But yeah, I have the rest of the collection, the rest of the series in my other collection. So I think I'm up to date, but I will need to check because I think we have not got the next 2 volumes. Now, I'm not sure about this one. This is Deadlock Volume 2, Saki Aida and Yu Takashina. This is the 2nd volume. We did get this fairly recently, in the grand scheme of things, and there's 4 volumes in Japan. It's complete. Do they still have the license? Will they give us the other 2 volumes, or will they just leave us hanging after volume 2? I don't know. I don't really care too much because I you know, it was years between the 1st volume and the 2nd volume, so it's like, did everyone still remember this series? The hype's definitely not still there, I'm assuming, and I haven't read it. It's still in its plastic, so I don't know if this is a license. I don't know if this is still ongoing in terms of the English publication. There are so many that June manga have just left by the wayside, like Border, for example, that I'm not sure if they still have the license for this. So yeah, this is maybe an ongoing one that I'm still collecting. We'll see if they actually decide to release more. A fairly new one that they have released is Only the Flower Knows. This is by Rito Takarai. There are 3 volumes in this series and then an extra volume sort of spin-off. So there's 4 volumes altogether. It's Rito Takarai, so I'm gonna get it. and it's really lovely. I love it. It's a great series. If you haven't checked it out, it's very sweet and completely different to her other series that everyone loves so much. 10 count. It's like the opposite. It's like the antithesis. So yeah, this is one that's just been released. It's one that's fairly new that I've added to my collection of series that I'm collecting for this year, and I'm so happy that we finally get it in English. And the last series that I am going to show you today that I'm collecting that's ongoing in English, and that is Twittering Birds Never Fly by Yona Deco. This is volume 4, 5, and 6. There is a 7th volume out in Japan, I know for sure. Is there an 8th? I'm not sure. But this can keep going, I don't mind. It's definitely a story of two halves, and we are now in the second half, and I cannot wait for more of the second half to continue and to see where it goes. Twitter mutuals are always going on about when we're going to get another chapter, and if another chapter happens, and I don't think we're going to get another chapter for a while, so I don't know how long it takes her to do this, but she can take as long as she needs. I'll just grow old gracefully while I wait for these volumes to be released, but at least we know that volume 7 will be, hopefully fingers crossed, released by June manga, and we'll be at least looking forward to that one when it comes. So that's my my last one to show you. So that is everything that I have got on my list of ongoing print series that I'm collecting. Most of them obviously are BL, but the big one that came in yesterday was My Love Mix-Up Volume 4. As I said, it's a really great one. So yeah, these are all the ones that I have in front of me that are, as of the UK time, up to date. So yeah, I do need to pick up Volume 5 of Fence when it comes, but we won't have it for another few weeks. And obviously, Therapy Game Restart Volume 2, I think, has been released in the US, but we don't have it yet in the UK. So these are all my up-to-date series. These are the ones that make me feel good. So I will probably prioritise getting Therapy Game Restart Volume 2, just because it makes me feel good to be able to look at these and go, I don't have to collect any more from you until the next one is released. So these are the ones that make me feel accomplished as a collector. I'd love to know what series you're collecting and if you're up to date with them, especially if they're BL series. Are there any that I have not shown and you think, hold on, why is she not collecting that? There's probably a few. Fingers crossed I'll be able to add them. But as I've said, these are the ongoing ones, and I try not to have too many series that I'm focusing on trying to get, because it makes me feel a little bit of anxiety and making sure that I've got the dates and everything when things are released. And as I said, I don't really pre-order too often because I want to try and see if I can get the best deal or a good bargain. And while I'm on that subject, if you are in the UK and you're watching this video, it's going to go up on Friday. So go over to Blackwells. I will put the link in my description, and especially in the Sublime section, if you just click on the imprint for Sublime and go and check out what bargains they have, a lot of them are down to $6.99, and I will probably finish this video and go over and shop. And I know I shouldn't, but I probably will, because $6.99 is a really great price for manga in the UK just now. So if you are thinking, I wouldn't mind picking up a few bargains, Blackwell is having a sale right now. I hope you like this video. I'm 365801. I make videos about BL manga, yaoi, male romance, and all that good stuff. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you can watch more videos from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for sticking to the end. Take care of yourselves, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!